So, for Cortland, we've got head coach Joe Brown, today's battery, Brandon Serio, and Justin T. Coach, you want to make any opening remarks before we open up to questions?
I thought that was an exceptionally high-caliber baseball game between two very good teams, and with two pitchers that obviously settled down. Their young man did a great job getting out of those couple innings, minimizing. Had us off balance for a few innings. We couldn't get that extra additional run. I thought that fourth run real late was very important. Great job by our hitter. And just a super World Series baseball game between two quality baseball teams.
Well, Coach, this is the first time, from what I understand, you're 2-0 in the World Series. How does that feel?
Feels good. They've earned it. You know, the irony is we've had some teams that we've come out here in the past, and I recall, 2008, when we had a group of guys win 38 games in a row, and we come out here and we play a Trinity team that won 41 games in a row, and we lost a heartbreaker game, and we were out in 2. And so you never know sometimes, but this group has just grinded and scratched and clawed all year, and they're tough kids. Tough kids. So it feels great. I mean, that's the obvious answer.
How important was it to get that first run?
I couldn't agree more. That was the plan, to try to get to them early. Some of the information we had is we felt we got guys on base. We could create some things. I ran into a couple outs today, trying to be overly aggressive. But you can't win sitting on the fence. And if you play passive out here, I've learned that as part of the experience of being out here. I've probably held some things in my pocket on occasion, and we're not going to stay on the fence this year.
So you scored a first run, then you had 2 more. How important was that?
That was good, and honestly, I think we could have got a few more in that inning too. And it was a little disappointing because they're such a good baseball team that 2 or 3 runs sometimes isn't. In the way the wind was blowing today, we were a little concerned to start the day. But once I saw him get going, I wasn't too concerned about the wind.
7, 8 walks. How was that?
It's big, and that was good. And I thought we could have had a couple more. We chased a couple times, but that's the pressure. You have 18 to 22-year-old young men trying to perform in pressure, and things happen sometimes. For us today, it was fortunate on our side.
Brandon, you've kept it really off balance. What was working for you today?
I think my biggest pitch was the 2-seam inside. We usually attack hitters outside. That's our main thing. But today, inside was definitely a better, way to go today because their hitters were not ready for that.
From your viewpoint, how was Brandon throwing?
The thing that really stood out to me was throughout the whole game, his consistency was there from the beginning of the game to the 9th inning. His velocity didn't die out, and he was working both parts of the plate. Each batter, a couple pitches inside, a couple pitches outside. Just finishing some guys, he didn't take it easy on him today. It was a good job. Fantastic performance.
You're 2 for 3 at the plate. Talk about your approach.
I'm just going up there trying to see some fastballs. I know I consider myself to be a pretty good 2-strike hitter. I'm not going to get beat with 2 strikes, or at least hope I don't get beat. But and then I had the bunt there. Third baseman was playing back. Sometimes it's just what you got to do to get on base. That's your objective each time you go up to the plate. You just want to get on base, help your team score a run.
I think they worked great together, and just to add on what Brandon said, I give a lot of credit to my 2 assistant coaches, Nick Anderson and Kyle Putnam did a great job scouting, and they set up the game plan, and this young man executed it to a T, and I give them an awful lot of credit. This is a freshman sitting to my right, and he doesn't play like a freshman. And he does a super job, exudes confidence. I know when all the upperclassmen were coming back this year, they're like, who's our catchers? Who's our catchers? Because I had 3 senior catchers last year. I said, wait till you see them. Wait till you see these guys.
Brandon, any doubt you were going back out for the 9th, and did you have any say in that matter?
No, I think at this point he has, confidence in me to get the job done. There was really no doubt in that. I was keeping him off balance the whole game, so you got to attack and get those 3 outs. Those last 3.
He was going back out in the 9th. There was no hesitation, no second guessing, because of the way he was throwing, and he was attacking them where we felt we had to attack them. And you sometimes do a team a favor when you take out a guy they're not hitting very well, and you never lost a game, I was able to coach the next day. And sometimes you go to the closer, he does a great job. Sometimes we have a full bullpen. We have fresh pitchers. But this guy it was his game.
How important it is to have that fresh bullpen. You've only used 3 pitchers throughout the first 2 games.
It's huge. I think at this juncture, at this time of year, when teams start rolling out some guys, you see people bringing in kids just to get outs right now. But our guys have given us depth. And I'll be honest with you, it was a philosophical change on my part. This young man came out here last year with Brandon McLean, and we were kind of a two-headed monster, so to speak. And they were at 80, 90 innings coming into this World Series, and I thought that was a bad job by me, pushing them so hard last year. And this year, they're at 45, 50 innings. And you can get 9 innings in a World Series out of a young man like that. They're strong and they're ready to go, and that was a change by us this year off season. If we were to get back here, we needed to have fresh arms.